I'm confused by Vroum. You know, last year, the way she ran, I would have said she'd probably get 3 miles. Stayers would be an option.
Could do.
This year, she just seems a lot keener in her races. I'm not sure. Over 2 miles the last day, clearly something was amiss. She's fine now, but that wasn't particularly impressive. 2.5 to me feels like her trip. But to get 2 miles at Cheltenham, you need to get 2.5. So I'm very confused by Vroum. And I would imagine the natural race for her would be the mare's race. And we'll have to take it from there. But, you know, it depends how she's working. And she's really, as Woody, I think, said earlier in the week, she's just started coming back into work. So first 2 pieces have been really good. Been very pleased with that. See how she gets on. But she's confusing me. I don't know. She keeps winning. That's the good news.
Would you say to people, she has like a lot of high-profile horses, she has fans who want to see her in sort of the real top-grade ones. I mean, they'll maybe think that the mare's hurdle would be a diversion for a talent of her magnitude. Would you rather sort of test her against the very best? You know?
I don't know. I think we've done that. I mean, we did that at Punchestown, certainly.
Sure. Well,
I think we try to find the right race for her rather than worry about whether it's against the geldings or against the mares.
Okay.
And to me, the 2.5 feels like the right trip. I think it's probably highly unlikely, unless there was some disaster, that she would go back over fences for the festival. She hasn't been over fences all year. We've kept her in there, I suppose, in case something happens to one of the big guns. I would have imagined in January when we entered her, we would have kept her in case, Faheen and Annie Power were both firing away and going to those big hurdles. We could have diverted her back over fences, which might be the plan for next season. But I think it'll be about what the right trip is rather than what the right race is. But, that mare's race is a great one.
Would you imagine ever running 2 horses in the same race? Could Limini and Vroum end up in the same race?
Possibly. It's not something I like to do, as you all know. But I can see that happening. Yeah, we've done it before. Maybe just not with 2 superstars. But we've certainly run a lot of our horses in the same races at Cheltenham. And if you're going to do it, that's the place where it kind of has to come to a head. But it's possible they could both run in the mare's race. Absolutely.
What are you most looking forward to of your horses at Cheltenham?
Getting them there. It's been such a diabolical year. I'm not sure else how to describe it. And of course, you only see the superstars and the names. There's been plenty others that who have lots of potential, who have been out for one reason or another as well this year. It's just been a very difficult time for the yard. Now, everybody has it. We all know that. It doesn't make it any easier. But I think getting them there, and then once they're there, Douvan certainly has to be the one to look forward to. And I worry slightly because, to me, in looking to my eye, Douvan doesn't always necessarily run his best race at Cheltenham. But I'm hoping this year he's going there in great form anyway, and he can put up something pretty special. So that's the highlight, certainly.
He seems to be scaring everyone else away from that race.
At the moment, Nicky was talking about putting LTR in for a while there. That would be interesting. I think that the better the horses, the better Douvan will run, to be honest. And I'd like to see something get him off the bridle, either at home or on a race course, to see what he's really made of. I want to see it as much as everybody. So if we can't see it this year, hopefully see it next year. But you can't be cocky either. You've got to get around. You've got to get over all those fences. We can see what happens to the very best of them. Q card last year falling with a very good chance. So, but getting there is the most important thing at this stage.
Looking to the Gold Cup, Rich, Djakadam obviously is quite open now, obviously with Thistle Crack sort of not being there. How do you sort of assess his chances?
I liked him before Thistle Crack even went out. I think that last year was not the ideal prep. As you'll recall, he fell and cut himself quite badly in the Bet Bright Chase at Cheltenham. He went there without the best of preps. It was hard to get working to him. He ended up working twice a day, kind of a rush thing. Still ran a big race, but to my eye, he wasn't as impressive as he was the year before when he went there and was closing all the way to the line on Coney Gree. This year, no complaints. The prep's been brilliant. He's in very good form. He runs great when he's fresh. He's won his last 2 as a fresh horse. So I'm as confident as you can be, I suppose. I think it's probably his best chance.
Do you think he's been sort of overlooked then, given the fact that Colin's horses have dominated things?
Rightly so. They have dominated things. They've been incredibly impressive. It's nice not to be in the headlines for once or twice and to be in the background, and I'm happy with that. But I don't think he's been overlooked. But I think that finishing twice, second twice, all those talented horses, you'd rightly question him. But I think that given his prep, given where he is, given what the race is cutting up to be, I think he's got a great chance.
He's more mature now as well, because before, the last 2 races, he was 6, 7, now he's 8.
He's 8. Yeah, he should be coming into his peak. He certainly continued to get stronger. I think we saw that in his first run of the season in the John Durkin. He certainly looks the part, and we know he gets the trip. And so, yeah, you'd have to fancy his chances, I suppose.
With horses that have a choice of targets, are you keen to get the decision made sort of well before the meeting starts, rather than having to make last-minute changes like last year?
Yeah, I think that With Limini, I think it will be a last-minute thing. I think we'll just have to see how she works and what she's working against, and we will make that call probably after that last bit of work on the Thursday. But the other ones, I think, is becoming fairly self-evident. I think the novices will be kind of last minute as well. I don't mind so much. We certainly don't have a standout novice. I think we've got novices that could be competitive for a place, but excuse me, not like in previous years where we've had a really hot, buzzy novice coming into this year. So I'm not worried about where they run particularly. And with the handicaps, that'll be what they be. Depends on the weights. We'll see what happens next. But I think the only question really in terms of where they'll run there on people's minds are Vroum, Mag, and Limini, and we'll take our time with those.
In all your years as a racehorse owner, then, has this been your sort of, would you say, your worst ever year in terms of injuries and setbacks and everything?
It's always, there's an attritional rate in horse racing, we know that, and if you've got X number of horses, for us, the attrition is normally run between 10 and 15% getting hurt or some other mishap. This year it's about 25%, maybe a little higher. So from that perspective, looking at it clinically, yeah, it has been. And the fact that so many of them are well-known, well-regarded, high-profile horses has been very, very difficult. But as I keep saying, it's part of the game. We all know that. Doesn't make it any easier. But we go there in good spirits, and we'll do the best we can with the best we have. So, we won 5 races at Cheltenham last year, which was amazing. We won't do that this year, but if we can nick 1 or 2, that'll be all right.
For you, you said it's about 25%. Have you got actual figures?
No, it's roughly off the top of my head. I've got 60. For various reasons, some or others have been either hurt or not running, but it's definitely higher this year. But it's always, it's not, you don't go through a season injury-free.
For you, Rich, which was the biggest blow of the lot of them? Would it have been Vautour earlier on? Or?
Vautour, clearly. Because, Fahine will be back. Annie Power could come back. I don't know if you saw the Racing Post yesterday. She was riding out yesterday, which is great news. But I think that, the Vautour one was just brutal. I mean, I really felt for Willie. That's a hard phone call to make with really no explanation, just a freak accident. And it was a big blow to the yard at the time as well. So that was the hardest one. That still pains me. I still feel that because he comes alive at Cheltenham and it was his race course. And that's kind of always lurking in the background. So I'll be kind of glad in the sense that we can get past this Cheltenham and move on from that. But that was a tough one.
And I know you mentioned you've not got one sort of standout novice like in years gone by with the Douvans or Fahines and that. Of the ones you've got going this year, is there, which would you say is the sort of best chance out of them?
Ribbon Light's probably the quickest of the lot, but clearly can't jump. I would say maybe Bravissimo. Let's Dance probably, Let's Dance would be the one. She's an outstanding mare, and she'll most likely go for the mare's novice, but she's the one I think probably our best chance.